Ah, hi. Yeah, sounds like the perfect thing to say, doesn't it? Hello to the anonymous world, random bypassers, and so on. I still think it's interesting for collective, the collective mind to establish communicating to people that are blank on the other side. Where you yourself, it's like this is like a composite of a person. You can get the character and details, hopefully, through across all right and everything. And then on the other side is just this great void, an endless abyss, people's faces you cannot see and names. What was the last person? Oh yeah, by the way, thanks for the positive things being said or whatever. I accidentally left my comments on. I don't I don't try to avoid them most of the time, and then there's upvotes and downvotes and all that shit, and I really am just training myself to not care at all. So if I have to edit a video, like put my hand over the whole screen and all that. But it's funny how usually like negativity and shitty attitudes end up pressing in more deeply than positivity. It's interesting how that works. I'd like to kind of assess all of the whys regarding that. That's why. But yeah, I accidentally left my comments on, so I didn't read them all anyway though. But some people said some stuff that was uplifting. To me, I'm just training myself where none of it matters at all, the good or the bad. I know that must seem some way. That must seem some sort of way in this world, but you're in a zone of life of basically like trying not to become something you don't want to be, but growing older every day and finding the difference between competition and collaboration. So having to have that state of a business mindset while being a creative person is a reason why many creative people, the ones that hang on to doing anything all right, sort of, I don't know, manage to either fulfill going further or find out that they're being ripped off or can't afford to keep making albums anymore or anything like that. Let me try to be a little more positive here. But anyway, somebody said something like, I can't find it anymore. That's a shame. That's a real shame. It allows you to explain something anyway, though. Somebody said something like, they're like, hey man, you need any help with your tuning, man? Your guitar's out of tune. I'm like, oh, my guitar, yeah. It's like for some reason, I don't like playing standard tunings, and I like playing blues music. I really like old blues music. I like world music. There's all sorts of music people um, can like, you know, but not have to play. I remember Poison Ivy Rorschach in an interview with the band The Cramps. You want to get cramps? I had a question. What do you think's what's the worst thing to happen? You getting cramps or having that feeling of like when you wake up and one of your limbs falls asleep, you know? Because it's a kind of interesting comparison to wonder which you would have out of the two. Severe case of cramps or having that feeling of when your limb falls asleep, because that's a scary feeling. That's a frightening feeling. Anyway, I'm either dying of COVID or um not copulated, but what's that word? Fornicated with somebody a while back. I had this shot or whatever, or have spike proteins on me. So that upsets three different groups of analysis regarding that. So that's good. It's good that we could get that out of the way. Yeah. I like to keep jugs of green tea around. Don't worry, it's not piss, okay? And if it was, whether you like it or not, I just took a swig of it and reacted about as calm as I did. Okay. That was like foot in mouth ass butthead was the name of the person. I can't find it because I responded. I was kind of like passive aggressive about it or something. They're like, it was just something. I wanted to put the name there, but I'll find it, whatever. I gotta put this on mute so it doesn't play when I play it back. Something like that. Yeah. I could slow down a bit. Need to rush through everything so damn quickly. We'll get to the tuning thing right here. Almost. My computer's made out of wood, by the way, and there's little a family of woodpeckers churning about, running gears around and everything. So, all right. Took a while. I kept clicking edit rather than go to the video. So, yeah, there we go. You ready for it? Yeah, there we go. Some guy named Andy Footube says, want some help with that tuning? We're tuning that thing. So, yeah. Obviously, I connect with the public rather well. See, I'd rather just do my thing. Well, I think my alternate tuning's out of tune, actually, to be quite honest. But anyway, I'm not really. See? See when you play. It's almost like a brass section in a way. And I think of, I'm using like a certain different tunings are like a Celtic tuning, and then there's all different Delta blues styles tunings and all that kind of thing. So I'm mixing kind of like different worlds, not on purpose, but kind of like you do things and then you read about things. And also different banjo style tunings and everything like that. For me, it's a different palette, and it connects more to how songs are meant to sound when they're coming from the way that I want to do them. And I don't know, all the time, you get so used to doing things your own way in this world sometimes that you're all right with it and everything, and then everyone else wants everything to be the same constantly and everything like that, and they get upset and they get real mad if you're not doing everything the same boring way that they do, where they just get bored, do the same boring things, and then they attribute that to their personality, and then they die, So I like the idea of something sounding maybe... See, because if you do something for so long and you're in like an alternate tuning state and everything like that, and you jump around different alternate tunings all the time, and then you play a lyric set of one song that was recorded in any tuning at all, go into a different tuning, and then try to play that song again. For me, that keeps things very fun. It keeps things very exciting. It's something where even if I tried to do songs normal and in a traditional manner and everything like that, it would probably not work at all. So it gives you the opportunity. I think probably when my father, when he was around, was into the band King Crimson quite a bit, and I can't deny that if I looked anything up regarding them, there would be some instances of alternate tunings regarding that. But anyway, there's a bunch of morons on the internet, and that's not fun, but thanks for the people that said some good stuff. Like I said, I accidentally left comments open, so I'm not in the mood of looking at them, because it's so hard to keep I'm not even supposed to be doing this video now. I'm supposed to be moving things around and get better stuff going on. I'm trying to see if I could sleep in a hammock, and that might be better. I heard people enjoy sleeping in hammocks, and I have a hammock stored away at a place. It's just that the frames for hammocks are almost take up as much space as if you had like a fold up and fold down futon or a bed or anything like that. So anyway, my alternate tuning, which somebody thought was untuned, is actually out of tune, which I think's funny, so. And I'm not supposed to even be sitting here playing the guitar anyway. I just wanted to talk. Now, it's all these videos, man. Because it's cold out, springtime's coming up pretty soon. It's that little edge of having the end of a nice December, I had a nice December. What are we doing? What are we doing here? I have a shirt underneath here, but I like rock and roll, alright? And I'm stuck with living that way. And I want to talk about, I'll talk about that another time, you know? Yeah. No, I do. It's good for people to be nice to each other. You know that? It's not a bad thing on this planet for people to be nice to each other. It's just weird that if anyone sees anything aloof, they want to attack it. And that's bizarre, you know? But I have to go, like, sometimes we learn things that are helpful in our lives and we re-imprint those things being beneficial for our own pathways and everything, and then life gets stressful and tense again, and it's this like war game between people's different, approaches of how they think things should be done all the time. And then you kind of like are a tow along like a raft behind a boat or whatever. It just went from a pastel color back to the color that looks like walking into Target store and having this blinding artificial light. I want the pastel, but what can you do? Yeah, there you go. Look, see? The camera, if you move around different ways, it'll like reset. I hate this Android so much. The only reason I got this Android, by the way, was because I wanted to sign up to Instagram and become like okay at doing like networking with art and everything like that. I think like within 2 years or something, I was shadow banned or something like that. I don't know. Maybe that's just an excuse, I don't know. What are you? Are you like, so are you autistic and you can function this much, to not getting any like actual help regarding it or something like that? Or are you just who you are, I think people that have the trepidation of trying to interact with society and then when they get accepted interacting with society, they realize they don't want to have anything to do with it and they get real bored. I get real bored. I get real bored real quick. Like, you're kind of like, oh yeah, it'd be nice to connect with people and all that kind of stuff. And then you get into doing it and everything. And you're like, I got it. It's like you're like searching for like looking at all the clocks you don't have on your arm and everything. And you're like, man, which the best way I can get out of this situation? Like, I'd rather be alone somewhere, running up a tree. I'd rather be out somewhere. That's for when time allows it. I mean, we have these things we have to do on this planet. It's called striving and surviving and all that kind of thing. So, I don't know. It's all I can do. To try to freak out in a filtered way. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. What's this video about again? I don't know. The end of the season. It was, it's kind of a, you know, a mental thing people go through when the end of the season comes up. Usually it's around Christmas time. People start to get into a little bit of a low or whatever. But I don't think people care about holidays anymore. But it's kind of like when it starts to actually get cold and you have to stay indoors or whatever, unless you bundle up. Nobody wants to do that anymore. You got to go outside. Get like a stick or get anything at all and hit all that stuff out from underneath of your car because the county is going to salt the road so many millions of times. It's going to start eating away like some Neil Young song about rust. What was the Neil Young thing with rust? He had something to do with some rust. He's a rusty old guy now, right? The name of the album was Rust. I just wrote Neil Rust. Fuck. Let's not talk about Neil Young. Let's Google Neil Rust. And it says Rentner. Oh, partner Rentner. Did they spell renter the wrong way? I don't know. Yeah. If I release this vlog, I'm not gonna put a title. I'm just gonna write vlog and then the date. Ideally, if I had my head on my shoulders the right way, I'd put subject matter in and all that kind of stuff and take time to do all that. It's like, and then release little blocks of things and I'm just somebody talking. It's all content. It's information. The internet now is not about learning. It's just about filling time a lot of the time. Unless people like me stop doing stuff like this. But everyone else does this too. So, it's like, hey, remember that scene from Blazing Saddles? I know you want to hear my thought about that one thing. It's like, yeah. You ever watched the movie The Sting with with Neil Young? Neil Young was in a movie, Human Highway, but it's The Sting with Paul Newman. The Sting with Paul Newman, being the encore with Blazing Saddles first. Sounds like a good movie night, I'd think, but anyway. Yeah, so Rust Never Sleeps. So I didn't even have to Google the name Young. Well, that's great. Anyway, yeah, alternate tunings. I like to play in alternate tunings. I have some songs that are in standard tuning and all that kind of stuff. All this stuff I'm playing in alternate tuning, and I'm feeling real comfortable and having fun with it. That's why when what's that person's name? I already forgot their damn name already, but FoodTube. Are you watching this, FoodTube? Why are you gonna try to be one of those? Why are you gonna try to be that part of adhesive sticking that lifts up way earlier than it should? Because that's what you're doing. If you're gonna put like a pick guard down or something like that, or take anything that you peel the backing off of and like stick something down, that FoodTube being a ass face like that, saying something like that, they're being that part of adhesive stickiness that lifts up, and that's them. All the rest of is just kind of just doing something. It's called supportiveness or something like that. So anyway, yeah. But I think that's a fun idea if you look up a lot of the listings of alternate banjo tunings and then add into that and play around with that. It's very fun to get dissonant sounds in your guitar that way. For me, anyway. And I don't think I could ever go back to standard tuning. And I haven't released jack shit since like 2012. And there's some stuff that I did release, but it's not like I'm proud of it or anything. I didn't have enough time to be able to work on stuff. But for the alternate tuning of the song called Setting, it's on Prolougue's Say Live. It feels like some aspect of world music being able to combine into American blues and rock and roll, and it's very fun, and it's dissonant, and that's what I do. So apparently I have to explain myself about that. So anyway, yeah. Nobody ever backed over a recycling can by accident recently. Nobody ever had to go and be on the underneath of the car with a metal coat hanger, retying their part of their exhaust back up because they accidentally ran over an aluminum recycling can. It never happened. And then, plastic bumpers today don't get messed up due to that either, because they're plastic bumpers, not real metal bumpers like real cars, but anyhow, I got stuff to do. I'm gonna go do that because I have a lot of things to take care of. I'm gonna stay up late tonight, get a nap, and then go out and try to do things to stay surviving tomorrow. So anyway, this is the closing of the video right here.